Mhm.
I find that that shame is something, like I said earlier, that folks, particularly with substance issues, just have to deal with on a daily basis. It's
Mhm.
so deeply, at least for me, at least, it's like so deeply rooted in a lot of the things that I do or don't do. And when I was reading your book, one of the things that I was thinking about is even the act of saying something out loud to yourself, how challenging it is just to get over that initial hurdle
Mhm.
of changing how you speak with someone, right? And so my one of the questions that I was thinking about was, we obviously are constantly having this self-talk. We're constantly having this dialogue behind closed doors, so to speak, with ourselves, right? Where it's not out loud, it's in our own minds, it's probably largely being driven by ego. Why is it so hard for us to cross that threshold and that hurdle to stand in front of the mirror and say, hey, Ray, this is what we're going to do next, regardless of like how I'm talking to myself? Maybe a little softer, maybe
Yeah.
a little bit more stern, but just the out loud portion of it, I think, is so hard to do. Why is that the case? Because it's effectively the same conversation, just kind of in a different venue, right?
Yeah, I'm going to say this. It's like you can't unhear yourself, right? It keeps you honest.
Yeah.
When I look in front of the mirror and I say to myself, Vas, we need to make a change. I can't unhear that anymore, but I could say it in my mind, Vas, we need to make a change. We need to make a change. But I'm not hearing myself say it. There's something that happens in the brain when you actually hear yourself and your voice saying it. It's like you can't unhear it. You can't hide from it anymore. You have to confront the truth. So it becomes a lot easier to not only confront, but to also take action when you say that out loud. And you bonus points if you look in front of the mirror and you say it out loud.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like honesty is such a huge component of one's healing, and just first and foremost being honest with oneself. Saying it out loud, to your point, you can't escape that. You can't run away from it, right? I think the second step is then going from saying things out loud to yourself to now saying things out loud to other people, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're in a relationship, whether it's at your workplace, or or somewhere recreationally, making that next transition and saying it to other folks with all of the baggage that comes with maybe not wanting to be as open and as honest with individuals in the past. What's your suggestion for folks who are trying to cross that threshold?
So I'm obviously going to say work with me one-on-one or join one of my groups, because the next step after you say it out loud to yourself is to say it in front of other people and to be witnessed. But the other option that you can do, let's say you don't work with me one-on-one and you don't join one of my groups, is to role play with yourself. Like, do you know how many conversations I've had to have in my life where before I even have the conversation with the person, I am like role playing with myself what I want to say, and I'm wetting my own whistle. I'm building that muscle memory, that speech memory, so I can hear myself say the thing that I want to say. Because it's a lot easier to be like, oh shit, I should have said this out loud. I should have said that. But then you don't. But in those moments, you can practice with yourself. Well, what do I want to say? What's the thing that this person needs to hear? And instead of keeping it inside, write it out. Practice saying it out loud, role play with a friend, so that when you're actually in front of this person that you want to say it with, it's not like the first time that you've said it out loud.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. It's just like if you're an athlete, and
Yeah.
it's the repetition, it's going through those reps, so that once you get to the game time, you've done it 1,000 times and it has a little bit less sting to it, so to speak.
Yeah. That's right.
No, that makes total sense.